Alright, hey, what's going on, Freedomers? Okay, so I was doing some reflection and I came up with this concept of, are they a good person to you or are they a great person to you? And how I define good and great is great has the word eat in it, right? That's blurry as fuck. Um, the fuck? Great has the word eat in it, right? So, and good is just, it's a form of betterment. It's a form of just being okay. And as I was reflecting on my life and my relationships, I was like, I don't have any. I have like one. I don't really have great people in my life. I have potentially great people, but I turned them into good because of how I was programmed growing up. And when you have good people in your life, they will share with you. They'll they'll do right by you. Um, Depending on the circumstances. Um, they'll break bread. And when you have a good person, usually once somebody's eating off of somebody else's plate. Um, but when you're with somebody who's great, or when you have two people who are great, y'all are coming to the table to eat bigger and better together. What I've noticed is when you're with a good person, you are always asking them if you can eat with them. You need their permission. When you're with a great person, it's not that you don't need their permission. Um, it's more of a qualification process on why they want to fuck with you, and you have certain requirements to fuck with them. And when I was looking at some of my closest friendships, um, they're good people, but they're not great. And what that means is we either I'm eating off of them or they're eating off of me. But they're not great people, don't even want that from you. Great people almost demand you learn how to eat on your own, because they will tell you quickly, I am not the source, you are. Great people will tell you that you have to have a certain requirement, you have to have certain boundaries, you have to have a certain amount of respect. There's certain things that are required for you to be in my life, and you don't just get to be, and you have to deserve. Um, yeah, the difference between a good person and a great person is everybody is worthy of good people, but not everybody deserves great people. And what that means is when you're with a person who's great, meaning the last few letters eat, um, you have to be somebody who you have to bring to the table things that You can't, like, with a great person, you can't just demand their time. With a great person, you can't just with a good person, with a great person, there's a certain level of deservability, meaning it is rightfully earned why you're in their life. When you're with a good person, I wouldn't say there's no boundaries, but but um but it's not about it's not about earned behavior or earned time, earned reward. It's about it's about deeds, doing deeds towards somebody. It's about doing a beneficial deed. It's more about benefits than it is about actual. And I would even say a good person is a little bit more entitled than a great person. A person who's great, um, a person who's great, you have to really be somebody who is qualified to have their time. And I'll give you a really good example. I had a mentor who was a Pisces, and he said to me, if I, if I, and I've heard this before, but now that I think about him again, he said something to me that I understand now. He said, if I give you my time, if I give you my time, it's because I see something in you. You feel what I'm saying? I really see something in you. So because I see something in you, or I picked you, or I said that you deserve my time, is the only reason why I chose to spend the day with you. And he was so great that he chose not to rekindle like our friendship. And I think that was many mentors, but when a person is great, you cannot demand their time at all. You literally have to schedule in time with them. When you're with a good person, you'll be on the phone talking for hours, and I wouldn't say don't go nowhere, but Dr. Miles Monroe said something really powerful, and he said, I'm really selfish with my time nowadays, because if I spend hours on the phone with you and I didn't learn anything from you, I just wasted my time. And I'm really thinking about that when he was talking about that in the audiobook Vision. And I was like, that's real. Because when you have a vision, you gotta dictate where your time goes. And I would say a good person, when you're in a good relationship or you're with a good person, it can be trauma bonding, or it can be based on insecurity. Meaning you're around that person because there's something insecure within you that they feel. When you're with a great person, they make you own up to your insecurities. They call you out on your shit, and they say, you gotta tighten up if you're gonna be with me. Let me repeat that again. When you're with a great person, they make you look in the mirror and say, you gotta tighten the fuck up or you can't be around them. When you're with a good person, they don't always do that unless it's extreme. Unless the benefits stop because that insecurity is ruining shit. Um, and this is something that I'm noticing. Are you around good people or are you around great people? Last but not least, I'm gonna go ahead. Great people always, always, always leave you with something that you did not know. Great people always, and I might have to read the book Good versus Great. Great people always give you something to think about, something to feel, something that you never understood before, give you a certain perspective, and usually it's a higher perspective. Good people keep you on your level. They may push you, but usually good people keep you where you are. Look at the manifestation guide below. We talk about manifesting more money, etc., etc. What's your moon sign?